I started wearing every day a new outfit I used to stitch for myself. I used to get a lot of appreciation for the fabric selection and things. While we were in Delhi, a neighbor was an artist turned into a textile designer, Mukesh Sharma. I remember picking up calls of Sharmila Tagore as well when I was young, because she used to pick up from him, and Sheila Dikshit, and even Indira Gandhi used to wear her saris. I used to go to craft fairs and Mila, and that's where I picked up so much of good taste on prints and understanding of crafts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the TheDiviShow. You're on episode number 36. आज मेरा हाथ टूट गया है. मैं इतना ज़्यादा काम कर रही हूँ ऑफ लेट. मेरे को इतनी ज़्यादा मोटिवेशन की ज़रूरत है. ऑब्वियसली जो आज का मैंने गेस्ट पिक किया है comes from a very selfish motive to learn and to grow and to motivate myself to keep going. And this woman hasn't stopped. She is the founder of Arch Academy, और उनके बाद उन्होंने she has been participating in so many things, has won so many awards. She founded Arch in the year 2000, और अभी 23 years हो गए हैं. And according to her website, she has inspired 6,000 students, but I'm sure the number is much higher. उसमें से आज मैं और आप, we are both going to be a part of that number. I hope this episode brings in a lot of motivation and a lot of enthusiasm into your life. And as a woman or as a woman entrepreneur, अगर आप ये episode देख रहे हैं, I'm sure this is going to just rock your world. So stay tuned. I'm just going to pick her up, have some lunch, and I'll see you. Bye bye. Welcome, Archana ma'am. How are you?
Hi Divisha.
How are you doing?
It's good to be on a long drive with you.
Yeah. I am so excited. मैं भी यही बोल रही थी. I needed a lot of motivation, and thanks to Tanvi ma'am, I think this interview actually now happened, and I hope that I go back home with a lot of motivation, and I'm sure my audience are going to, because my audience come from like the age group is 25 to 35, so they are the people who are out of colleges but now need a lot of motivation to thrive in industries. True. In their life. So yeah, how are you? How's it going?
Yes, a lot of action right now. So we built 2 more buildings as a part of our extended campus.
Yeah.
So yes,
you inaugurated one abhi.
Yeah, we did that in June, and the other one we're just inaugurating tomorrow.
Wonderful.
So these are campus student accommodations and staff accommodations. So it's very interesting that the campus is now larger. Yeah. So.
Oh, wow. How many students often choose to go for your accommodation? Like कितने बाहर से आते हैं and कितने local है?
Around 75 to 80% of our students come from other parts of the country.
Wow.
And we conduct an all India level entrance exam for it. Yeah. Wow. So we were the first to pioneer the online entrance exam in 2011, but we started the entrance exam in the year 2009. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
I want to really go back on the journey कि 2000 में I've heard that you started Arch from your apartment.
Yeah.
Please tell us more about that.
Yes, so 2000 in the 3-room setup that we had, which we used to rent out. So I just thought of starting it there, and yes, it was interesting because then you had more flexibility. You could teach as well, you could counsel, because it was a lot of bootstrapping, and I didn't have resources at all, and nor have I ever taken any money from anybody in the family ever. Not from my in-laws, nor from my parents. There's no investment from anybody else in this entire institution.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I believed, So I always felt that, I need to build something that I could do on my own rather than having a dependency on others. So interestingly, it took off very well. It took time. 6 months was quite challenging. I had to wait. A lot of patience and perseverance was required.
Yeah.
But God has been kind, and I remember having a jackpot of doing 30 admissions in just 2 days. So that was quite interesting.
Wow. For when you would have started, I think 38 would have been a huge number.
Yes. Right. Overall, in the first year, I had around 55 students who were in that just 3-room setup. Can you imagine?
Right.
So I used to run batches, so they were more occasional 1-year programs.
So the vision was always doing an institute for design.
Yes, because I realized the city had so much of raw material, gemstones, skilled people, and it had so many varied crafts, right from the textiles to gemstones to handicrafts. So I could see that the possibilities were immense because I moved into the city in the year 1995 and I got married to my husband who's a lawyer. And yes, so my mother-in-law was a working woman. She was a professor in German language. My sister-in-law also in Mumbai, a professor in German. And my husband with a busy profession of being a lawyer. So I definitely knew that I had to do something, and that was key for me. Yeah.
Right. Wow. How come design intrigued you so much?
So my background is into fashion. And I gave up on my graduation studies to do actually fashion. So I did my graduation from Delhi University as a continuing education program alongside my fashion program. So I remember there weren't many institutions in the country offering a degree. In fact, NIFT also offered a diploma then. And there were just probably 25 seats. Then I actually,
Delhi University mein what was the course?
So Delhi University was my graduation program. It was a BA pass course. So that's where my graduation completed. But I did my 2 years diploma from South Delhi Polytechnic, which was quite aspirational that time, just behind LSR. The campus. So I remember. So it was quite a good, interesting learning experience. So when I moved into the city, got married, so I was then working with JD Institute. They had just started a campus, a franchise here. And yes, so it's been quite interesting. So 4 to 5 years I did a job, and then I started with art.
What intrigued you about design early in the days? Like when you were with your parents, and you raised somewhere near Bengal? Siliguri?
Yeah. So yes, as you all know, Maharani Gayatri Devi, she comes from Kuch Bihar, right? So Kuch Bihar district has this small village called Mathabanda. And so my maternal side had a lot of property, and they were into the jute business. So that's known also as the jute capital of the country. And yes, I was born there in a small village, and my early childhood I stayed in Siliguri, and until I was 10 years old, and then my father moved to Delhi when I was just 10, and then my rest of my education happened in Delhi, and then I got married in 1995. So it's been quite an interesting time. So I think my whole love for textiles and craft and everything, seeing Bengal being very rich into craft and culture, and then later on in Delhi seeing the urban culture, the fashion scenario. I mean, textiles somehow always very, colors is something that always inspire me, I mean, it really draws my attention. So, and then the texture of the fabric. I think these are two things. I didn't know that I'm going to get into design. I mean, I didn't know how to pick up a thread and a needle until I was in my 12th standard. I was like a tomboy, to be very honest. Absolutely.
Really?
And yeah.
How come fashion intrigued you फिर उसमें?
So I remember going for a sewing, a course, a hobby course, close to my house during the vacations. And I started wearing every day a new outfit I used to stitch for myself.
Really?
So yeah. And I used to get a lot of appreciation for the fabric selection and things. And I remember while we were in Delhi, a neighbor was this person who's a very, very renowned artist turned into a textile designer, Mukesh Sharma. Yeah. So I remember picking up calls of Sharmila Tagore as well when I was young, because she used to pick up from him, and Sheila Dikshit, and even Indira Gandhi used to wear her saris, and block printing, And I used to go to craft fairs and melas with him, and that's where I picked up so much of good taste more on prints and understanding of crafts. So that's where the whole idea of design. And then doing a course in fashion, definitely, you taking crafts to that level where you making it more aspirational, So,
How does your vision for fashion have changed through this journey? पहले आप fashion and design को कैसे सोचते थे और अब कैसे सोचते हो? How is the evolution like?
Okay, so for me, I look at beautiful textiles and very fine detailing when it comes to making a garment. These are two things that occur to me.
That have been there throughout?
Fashion. Yeah, that has been ever since I was very young. And I had this very taste for very fine clothing, and I always felt that, I somehow naturally had that glamour quotient in me when I was young. So I remember for almost like 40 years, 42 years I've been putting an eyeliner, and I used to put very well. I remember seeing this cover page of Stardust and seeing Shri Devi का eyeliner का, and that's how वैसे eyeliner मैं लगाती थी. तो मेरे को बहुत appreciation मिलता था, and very good at it, खटाखट, so वो था, and probably even I had interesting eyes, तो अच्छे दिखते थे. तो I used to get appreciation for my clothes and this, and that's where I just felt there was an inclination that kept going and taking, not that I ever thought that, I wanted to build a career or something, but it was very organically, it moved in that direction. Wow. And I had, I remember until my 9th standard, I had boy cut until I met Kiran Bedi once. And
who is your inspiration?
I wouldn't say she's my inspiration, but yes, she's a woman who is an inspiration for many. But yes, there's something that transformed me when I met her, because when she gave me an award, that was that when I said a woman could do so much, why do I need to be like a man? So when I was young, I always felt boys had all the freedom, they could do everything. Then why not be a boy? You just feel that that you wish you were one.
Yeah.
And but then I just gave it up overnight. Otherwise, I used to pray God, भगवान मुझे लड़का बना दे. ऐसा था मेरे साथ. Can you imagine a girl saying every day 3 times a day कि why don't you I get transformed,
Yeah.
And then overall things just changed in my life.
What changed internally?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's just that I started growing my hair. Then when I got married, I had my hair till my hips. Yeah. And I became so feminine and very different.
I feel as a fashion entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur, you need both the energies together, your masculine energies and your feminine energy.
Yeah, sure.
So the fact that you were a tomboy and now I feel the power of both the energies are now in a very good balance.
Could be.
Yeah.
I'm sharing some very deeper truths of my life.
That's the
which I'm not.
This interview, that's
which I've only probably done in small groups, people. But this is going out in public.
Yes, for sure.
But I'm okay with it now. When you're young, then you're very open, and then there are certain stigmas of the society that don't allow you, and then you come to a certain age and then you're okay about it.
You get
whatever
indifferent.
Happens,
Okay.
Yeah.
I do my own thing, you do yours. How does the peace now feels like? Are you at a peaceful place कि हो गया बहुत कुछ कर लिया, या are you at a place कि अब बहुत और कुछ करना है?
ऐसा लगता है कि काफ़ी कुछ हुआ है, and काफ़ी single handedly now my whole thing is to have my eldest son take on the business, and we both together multiply it, because until here I've single handedly managed it. And I had limitations, nurturing a family, upbringing a family, looking at your other needs as well. So there's certain things that you keep under control, but God has been very kind. I've got the opportunity to sit on international forums. Presently I am Vice President with Cumulus Association. That's world's largest forum for art, media, design and architecture from 70 countries. We have 370 universities and colleges in higher education who are members of it.
Wow.
So India is for the first time on the board after 30 years of the inception of the association. So I'm really blessed that I have really gotten opportunities to contribute I have immensely contributed for more than a decade to Rotary. As a non-Rotarian, I went to Switzerland for 5 weeks. I spent time there seeing how Rotary actually contributes to the world. I've been to the world headquarters and WHO headquarters, and the contribution that Rotary has made to polio. So, all these were things that built my vision and they were very inspiring. So, a lot of contribution that when you make to the society, you also learn a lot. So all these have been forums who have given me a lot of opportunities. Then 2007 I was selected by the State Department here, the US Embassy, to represent India for the International Women Leaders Mentoring Partnership Program of the US State Department, Fortune Magazine, and Vital Voices Global Partnerships.
Wow.
So Vital Voices is one of the most interesting organizations I've also been a part of. I'm a lead fellow of Vital Voices. Vital Voices, it's run by Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is one of the founder members.
Wow.
And so they're the largest in terms of working for women's causes across the globe. They help women find their voice, right from women like Malala to Fortune women who are there, part of the network. And in between are women like us, whom they have invested with. So, to help us grow in our domain. So, my journey with them has been almost 2007 until now. So I was then a part of the Global Ambassadors program. So I found my mentor, who's a media icon in the United States. She's the founder of Oxygen Media, along with Oprah Winfrey, both of them.
Oh wow!
And the Nickelodeon channel, which you must have seen as a young kid. So she's the founder of that. So very interesting. So I got to spend some good time with her. She helped me set my goals. I was then struggling in my business. That was in the year 2012, 13. So I then experienced what mentoring could bring forward,
Right.
So that's how the Women Mentors Forum started in the city.
I had so many questions throughout this journey, but all in all, achieving so much and being around, I think, such high profile people is one of your biggest, trait, or as in a positive trait in you is networking. Do you think that has helped you throughout your business, or if there is a characteristics that you are very proud of for yourself? What is it?
See, I have not understood networking as something that I wanted to go out and do, but I connect with people naturally. I bond with them naturally, and that's how probably things have opened up for me. I see beauty in what people bring forward. So at that point of time when I started my career in Jaipur, I knew nobody. See, I have no school friends here and no college friends here. Pretty much I knew nobody here. So lawyers were a different breed. So here you had academicians from university professors. But gradually, as I started doing my own work, I started meeting the right kind of people, and it just happened. So working with the government, with MSME, or with the Department of Science and Technology projects, so we did a lot of these entrepreneurship-led, skill-based programs to begin with, alongside our own diploma and certificate programs that I was offering. So the student community is where I probably spent a lot of my time with, and these were, because Jaipur was not a very large city, and mostly everybody knew each other. So I think the word of mouth was very strong, and that's how probably bonds started creating, and that's how things started happening. 2007, I was invited by CII to become an invitee member on the state council then, after I came back from the US. And for 10 years, I've been on the Rajasthan State Council as a member, as an invitee member at the CII, the Confederation of Indian Industries. Right now, I am on the National Council for Design. On the Committee on Design, I'm sitting as a board member.
The whole intention I feel you had throughout all of these years was the intention to bring your kids that opportunities, line up amazing opportunities for them, and I think that
I didn't think that way too, you know, to be very honest. See, you know, kids learn from what your parents do, right?
Yeah.
Whether you want them to teach or not, they are seeing you all the time.
Yeah.
And they learn. So both my children are in the creative profession. They are good like their father in terms of, you know, their communication. But yes, their creative aspect definitely, you know, they've been able to nurture because, you know, I used to take them out for these fairs and career fairs and craft fairs. So they've seen that. My younger one is a sound engineer and music producer. He's based in Mumbai right now.
Yeah.
And my elder one, he studied product design at Central St. Martin's, London. So both of them studied in London.
Okay.
And they're back in India, and they love India. So they want to be here. They want to contribute here. They want to learn from here. So Manan is a wildlife photographer, and you know, by passion, and you know, interested in landscaping and plants and birds and all these things. Yeah.
Wow, it immediately took me to that Three Idiots ka dialogue ki abba nahi manenge, and you've seen Three Idiots?
Yeah. In fact, Tanmay is a 3 Idiot wala hi kuch hai. So he used to study with JPIS, and I remember, you know, he used to get all these red all the time, and used to bother. But I was never bothered that, you know, this. I always knew that, you know, he'll always make his place. And after his 10th, I sent him to Mumbai to do a 1-year program at the True School of Music. He did his 1-year diploma, and alongside he was doing his 11th studies, and then he came and gave his 12th examinations, and then he went to London.
And became a sound engineer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yes, it was pretty unconventional, you know, to send a kid after 10th for a music school. And so, but I always felt that, you know, we all have our own creative side, and if we find that space to nurture that, I think it's beautiful.
And giving your kids or anyone, any of your loved one, that space to explore, I think that's the best thing that you can do for someone. Amazing. How have your students evolved over the years? 2000 में कैसे students आते थे, उनको design की कितनी समझ होती थी, और अब कैसे students आते हैं?
तो 2000 में तो मेरे पास जयपुर के बच्चे आते थे सारे. So jewelry was the most hot selling course. I was the first person to start a course in jewelry design in the city of Jaipur.
Wow.
And I'll say why 1997, because I used to run then TheDiviShow, which is owned by my cousin. So I was partners with her on the thing.
Okay.
So I started all these courses with her in the year 1997. And in the year 2000, I started with my own setup.
Yeah.
So ये सारे courses मैंने jewelry, interiors, fashion सब मैंने शुरू करे थे.
Okay.
And so jewelry was something that I truly acknowledge that I am today here wherever because of the program in jewelry design. And most of the families, you know,
most of them are jewelers in Jaipur.
They've done some course or the other, you know, their children, their daughter-in-law, this thing. And whenever nowadays I go out for parties and things, I'll find my students, you know, they're all doing good work, you know, because they come either from the background, or even if they don't come from the background, they've really made a good place for themselves. So right from a 3-month course, I built it to a 3-year degree program in the year 2003. And then we started 2010 we started a 4-year program. So presently we offer qualifications approved, affiliated by the University of Rajasthan in fashion design, interior design, communication design, jewelry design, product design. And
all of them are curated by you.
Yes, it took me 15 years to get the university to believe that yes, design is important, and that was quite a long journey. But yes, but eventually 2017 all these degree courses were approved. So there are members who are on the course committee meetings and things, and we do the entire curriculum planning and everything and propose it to the university. I was then also dean for the Rajasthan ILD Skills University, which is again the second largest skills university that started in the, way back. So even there, these courses were initiated. So I've been right away from the beginning in the academic council and creating these courses. Yeah.
वो 38 लोगों के बैच में what was the passion that was driving them? और अब क्या है passion?
Okay, so if you look at those students, yes, they were 6 months, 1 year courses. And I feel the students who come on these professional courses are more focused because they have less time and they want to do more.
Yeah.
And I see, yes, the 4-year students that we get now, they are, it's like, no knowledge without college. No knowledge without college. नहीं करनी है, नहीं है. Design में कोई करनी है वाला आता ही नहीं है. No knowledge without college वाला जो concept है ना, तो ये क्या आधा टाइम एक्सप्लोर करते हैं, लाइफ को एक्सप्लोर करते हैं, सिटी को एक्सप्लोर करते हैं, being with other people they explore. So there's lots more to learning than just learning a skill.
Exactly.
So peer learning, group activity. So students on the 4-year program are pretty much more relaxed and they take their own time doing things. But they're doing things at a deeper level too.
Right.
Because the kind of focus that requires in terms of understanding and building upon a skill or a knowledge, or even the attitudes of being the right kind of designer and understanding the role of a designer is very, very important. And that's what the 4-year program is actually instills into a student. So today design is moving on from just looking at a course like fashion designing from a skill point of view, but it is more from a strategic point of view, from a strategic thinking point of view, and how design can really bring beneficial order. So today even governments are employing designers. Automobile definitely is even those the telecommunications industry. They deploy designers, because design is all about, today when we hear the word design thinking, everybody understands, that it's the Harvard and the Stanford and everybody talking about design thinking. So everybody is now understanding the importance of design in India. Whereas all the developing economies understood design much earlier and its importance and significance. And that's why we see so much of development in those countries. And there's an opportunity for India to now again look at design and apply it to our indigenous knowledge systems and how we can actually use that to the needs of the future. And design is always future led. You are definitely creating future led products and services. What would the future require 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Building infrastructure, building capacity, building products, services, and definitely when there are some problem areas, design has an approach that can help you solve that problem. So the EDIP process is very familiar. So you empathize with the problem, you define the problem properly, you then ideate over it, you prototype and you test it out. So these are the 5 stages of design. So whether you make a product or a service, this is now how well you do this whole 5 stages is what matters.
Wow. Design thinking, do you feel कि कुछ लोग selected ही होते हैं जिनमें design होता है, मतलब जिसमें creative होते हैं?
It's a process. You can follow the process. That's it. You'll get some desired results. So ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. We all have the ability to empathize. It's not a unique ability to designers. Anybody can empathize. We all understand that, to get into somebody else's shoes, trying to figure out the who, when, what, why, where, how, and all these aspects. See, when we're talking about design, so design definitely is a process, right? It's like you knowing a rule to break the rule as well. But if you follow a certain process, you can get desired results. And definitely design has this whole understanding of creating an opportunity. So it could be solving the problem, so that's another opportunity. Or it could be creating something for the future. So all our design courses, undergraduate, our master's program is in design and entrepreneurship, right? So the crux of the matter is that while we are, from a pedagogic point of view, you look at design studies, you look at technical studies and contextual studies. तो contextual studies हम बोलते हैं जैसे आप किस परिवेश में हो, किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अपन बात कर रहे हैं, जैसे आज जयपुर का कॉन्टेक्स्ट अलग है एंड यही न्यूयॉर्क का कॉन्टेक्स्ट अलग है. द प्रॉब्लम माइट लुक लाइक सेम बट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट इज कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट, द पीपल आर डिफरेंट, द हैबिट्स आर डिफरेंट. सो यू नो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड डिजाइन फ्रॉम अ कंटेक्चुअल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. फिर दूसरी तरफ क्या है, आप कुछ टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स है राइट, उसमें है कि आपको स्किल ओरिएंटेड नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, क्या मटेरियल्स, प्रोसेसेस, टूल्स, टेक्निक्स आप यूज करोगे. सो वो टेक्निकल स्किल्स के अंदर में आ जाते हैं उसके. अब जब हम डिजाइन स्किल्स की बात करने लग रहे हैं, यस जो प्रोसेस को फॉलो करना, प्रोसेस के अंदर में जैसे आइडिएशन के टूल्स होते हैं, देन यू नो आई मीन आप थिंकिंग के भी बहुत सारे टूल्स होते हैं. स्केलर थिंकिंग है कि फ्यूचरिस्टिक थिंकिंग है कि सस्टेनेबल थिंकिंग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आप बात कर रहे हो. सो वहाँ पे भी अलग अलग तरह के पॉसिबिलिटीज है. सो ओवर द जर्नी ऑफ 4 years यू नो द आइडिया इज दैट द स्टूडेंट गेट्स टू अंडरस्टैंड दीज कॉन्सेप्ट्स एट अ डीपर लेवल. एंड फिर क्या होता है धीमे जैसे सोशल डिजाइन है, सस्टेनेबिलिटी है, सस्टेनेबल डिजाइन हो गया, प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन है, and communication. Today you are into communications. Communication is a very big thing today. So communication is like a thread across. So you have to understand that you know all these things have to be understand in a more holistic perspective. Interdisciplinary होता है. डिजाइन की सबसे खूबसूरत चीज ये है कि कोई भी स्टूडेंट अगर ये कहे ना कि भाई मैं साइंस का हूँ, मेरे लिए है या नहीं है, कॉमर्स का हूँ तो मेरा. So see, because you have to find it a market, every design has to have a market. Right. There has to be users for it, right? Is the masses using it or the target group using it? But you have to have, it has to be sold, right? So the commerce angle is very, very important. The science is important because there's so much of new technology and processes and tools that go into it. So it's very important from a scientific understanding that even our research papers and this thing, whether it's fashion also, we call them as scientific researchers. And so the science aspect is there, the art because the color, aesthetics, form, beauty, balance, all these you know elements are very important. So it's very interesting that design is actually very holistic. And while we understand these 3 disciplines, there are a lot of other disciplines also, right? So it's very interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. And so I find because we don't have books, we always have to do research, we always have to look at referencing, we have to understand you know things from a contextual context में. lot of research. आप अगर देखोगे ना दूसरी एजुकेशन में रिसर्च लास्ट में आती है, पढ़ाते हैं ना, डिजाइन में रिसर्च से ही शुरुआत होती है. So you know when you are empathizing, you are actually researching a lot into the context and the specifics to the thing, then can you only empathize with the problem in a true sense. So it's interesting that you know, and I see design as one of the most evolved practices. And definitely you know design is practiced by everybody. अभी हम देखो when we design a business plan भी हम बोलते हैं तो हम बोलते हैं कि the word design is always tagged along with a business plan. Right. तो आप देखो ना डिजाइन कितना एसेंशियल चीज है. कहीं पे भी कोई चीज होता है हम बोलते हैं डिजाइन वर्ड यूज करते हैं, बट वी यूज इट लूजली नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट द रोल इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट. एंड इफ इंडिया हैड एक्नॉलेज्ड दिस in their education stream much earlier, we would have been far ahead in our system now.
I want to know the commerce aspect of it. आज मतलब बहुत टाइम तक for years designers didn't know कि वो पैसा कैसे कमाए अपने आर्ट से. And या फिर अगर उनको पैसा मिलता भी था तो it was never justified with जितना वो, let's say if you even talk about handcrafts, तो उनको they were getting peanuts for what the kind of craft that these guys were doing. तो उस पे how do you empower your students कि they can earn from their craft actually?
See, we are in the most beautiful time because you know we have a great vision that has been given by our Prime Minister also. So he is looking at a lot of revival of the crafts, looking at livelihoods, a lot of innovation and everything. So and largely because today the world is flat, you know, we are all learning online, we're learning from different resources. So you can always see now, you know, there's so much of design intervention that you're seeing everywhere. Look at young people, the way they are now taking up design, bringing so much of freshness into the way you know you can see things. So I mean the way things are happening today is because there's a lot of exposure. बहुत सारा exposure है, youth के पास अभी बहुत exposure है. So अब क्या वो limiting space रहा नहीं है अभी. कि भाई अब आपको पता नहीं है कि इसका कैसे एडवांटेज लेना है, कैसे मोनेटाइज करना है आप अपने डिजाइन्स को, बिकॉज टुडे यू डोंट नीड एनीबडी, यू जस्ट नीड योर इंस्टाग्राम, you need your own communication skills to just make things happen. So
do you teach designers these aspects, how they can market it?
Yeah, so all our departments, they manage their own Instagram accounts. Achha. And which is not managed by professionals, they managed by the students itself. So whatever content they push in, whatever they make, whatever their classrooms are happening, wherever they're going for industry trips, visits, they put it all there, right? So we just try them, because we tell them that they see, anyway, if you're making your own business or if you're working with somebody, anyway you will have to do that. And today communication is the key thread,
100%.
Across all businesses. Today it's, with materials, technologies and everything, बहुत कुछ आ चुका है मार्केट में, इतना आ चुका है. What do you need today? You need to communicate rightly about your product or a service.
Right.
So I think that's key for anybody to
and
learn.
It's not just limited to your communication students, like you were saying.
No. So see, even if you're a fashion student, you have to know how to curate your fashion show. You have to curate your garment. You have to know how the garment will look like. उसके साथ light क्या आएगी, उसके साथ sound क्या जाएगा, उसके साथ में उसको मेरा प्रोजेक्ट कैसे होगा, उसका फोटो शूट्स होने होते हैं उसके सारे के सारे, आपको लुक बुक बनानी है, तो ये सारे कुछ कम्युनिकेशन के पार्ट है. एंड सो इवन इफ यू आर इंटीरियर डिजाइनर, डेफिनेटली योर स्पेसेस हैव टू speak, I mean, even if you're projecting yourself on the Instagram, you have to know what to talk about that particular space and what is the kind of scripting you need to do. So I think today it's key that the story is very important, and storytelling, while it's again like people started using it as a jargon, but yes, the real the authenticity behind any product or service is something that needs to be projected for the client.
Amazing. I love that you are part of such creative and I think beautiful humans around you. And I saw you around the campus and you were casually walking around. It's okay, you were sitting around in the same campus with the kids. It was so much fun to watch. I hope they can connect with you and get inspired from you as well.
Yeah, let's see, because at times when you see things from close, probably you can't appreciate them sufficiently, but maybe after years when you look at in retrospect, you can then probably figure out. Yes, I do work closely with my faculty and my students, because I'm a design educator at the first place, and entrepreneur is later, I'd say that. I started my journey as a teacher. For years I've taught, at least 5 to 6 years I've really taught, and then I've articulated these courses. So I do a lot of teaching with my staff, so a lot of training has happened on campus, while I was very young, so I didn't have those many resources कि मैं बाहर से लोगों को लेकर के आऊँ, तो सब कुछ मुझे सीखना पड़ता था और मुझे करना पड़ता था. सो ऐसे करते करते मेरे अंदर की कैपेसिटीज बहुत सारी डेवलप हो गई. सो अब चाहे विमेन मेंटर्स फोरम में है, वहाँ पे भी लोगों को ग्रूम करना, ट्रेन करना, सो दैट कम्स नेचुरली टू मी नाउअडेज. तो स्टूडेंट्स डेफिनेटली बहुत, जब पुराने बच्चे मिलते हैं, पैर छूते हैं, एक्नॉलेज करते हैं कि उन्होंने ऐसे सीखा था या ऐसा याद करते, तो अच्छा लगता है सुनकर.
एंड लाइक यू आर सेइंग, अब आप ऐसे जयपुर में जाते हो तो आपको काफी लोग मिलते हैं now who have now made it in the industry. I'm sure it's a very happy feeling.
And we have students all over India, so हर जगह कहीं ना कहीं बहुत बढ़िया अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. So it's been 23 years now. 23 साल हो गए, तो 7,000 बच्चे हम पढ़ा चुके हैं. In this duration.
Wow.
So on our professional courses, 4-year masters, अलग-अलग programs में. We've also started a business course. We had a business course that we used to run, but during the COVID period, that was a gap time.
Okay.
And now we've again started our business course. It's a pure business program.
Okay.
Yeah. Bachelor's in Business Administration.
Wow.
So this year we've again kick-started and it's going on very well.
Amazing. I hope it. I'm sure you are backing it, so it'll reach bigger heights.
Thank you.
But it already has given you so much.
I forgot letting you know about our international study abroad. Our international study abroad courses is the best, I feel. I mean, otherwise in India it takes 4 years to complete a degree in design, which is a bachelor's in design that we offer. But अगर आप हमारा international study abroad करते हो, you just study for 2 years here in India, and the final year you complete a degree in the UK. So it is UK education systems, first year and second year of college education of UK, which is known as Higher National Diploma, which is level 4 and level 5. We teach here at Jaipur. And then our students this year have gone to Manchester Metropolitan University. They've also gone to UCLan, University of Lancashire. They've gone to Teesside. So every year we have students going out
Amazing.
to complete their degree there.
I hope just you get all the strength in the world to hold this all together as tightly as possible.
अभी हमने एक नया कोर्स यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ राजस्थान के साथ हमारे डिजाइन किया है, बैचलर्स इन डिजाइन इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी डिजाइन. Because I told you, there's so many people who don't want to कि भाई हमें फैशन करना है या हमें ज्वेलरी ही करना है.
But they want to look at design from a different perspective and want to imply it.
In fact, हर डिजाइन का बच्चा चाहे वो फैशन ज्वेलरी का होता है, वो इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी होता ही होता है. अभी आप सब्यसाची को ही देख लो ना, उसको he does wallpapers, interiors, he does jewelry, he does clothing, everything. So a designer can design everything, because once you know the principles and the elements of design, you have the right understanding, so you can do any kind of design. But today, when the demand is very high in terms of looking at design from a very strategic point of view, governance requires design, companies require design, for management requires designers to intervene. So it's interesting that such an interdisciplinary program today, UX UI interaction design, they have become very popular programs. So we need courses which are more interdisciplinary, so that students can carve, they can shape up themselves the way they want to.
Seems interesting. I was in the middle of looking for a course for interdisciplinary, because I'm sure it can help in a way that I can think out of the box within the frame that I've set for myself and within the journey that I'm having for myself. So it's a very beautiful explanation of how design can actually be interdisciplinary, that you can apply it in multiple dimensions of your life without even knowing it. Oh man, thank you so much. It was such an inspirational talk, exactly what I was hoping for.
I'm so glad that we got to chat, and I really look forward that we do something together at the Women Mentors Forum as well,
100%.
Because that's also my passion project besides Arch. And having young women like you, when you find your voice, you upskill your business, you get some kind of support. We all go through our challenges in this journey.
Right.
So I found a mentor when I was in the year 2012, when I was really struggling with my business.
Right.
So she helped me set my goals, my short-term goal, mid-term, and long-term goal. That's exactly what we help women do in the Women Mentors Forum. We have a goal sheet. That's what we do. We walk twice a month for a morning walk. And as mentors and mentees, we walk together. The idea is that we set our goals and then we just talk around the goals, and that's the only purpose, to meet and connect.
Wow.
So maybe we'll invite you to the Women Mentors
100%.
Forum as well. Once,
I am
talk
all
to
ready.
our women. They'll be very inspired to see what you're doing. I'm so happy that you've really created a space where people can really share freely. Talk to somebody. It's like a heart-to-heart conversation.
100%.
And today in this world, there is so much happening. To really find that little space where you can make a difference is very, very essential. And you doing that, Divisha. So I'm really happy, and congratulations
to you.
Thank
means a lot to me hearing it from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye,
for having me over.
It was
and I told you I'm also going to introduce you to the TIE network, which is the Indus Entrepreneurs. This is the largest network of Indian entrepreneurs worldwide, and I'm a charter member here in the network. And so you can connect with people worldwide to understand that you can find maybe clients across the globe.
Wow. I am looking forward to. I think we should plan a meeting every month.
Sure. I'm on the FICCI Ladies Organization Governing Board as well. So I've been one of the founding members of the Jaipur Chapter 2.
Wow.
So it's been like 2007 I did the first event with FICCI Flow, when I brought the Fortune's editor at large. She writes Fortune's 50 most powerful women in business. She was the guest, and that was the first year when Flow actually started. So my journey with Flow also has been very rewarding, with doing the global mentoring walk. It's been 11 years I've been doing it.
Yes.
So it's around Women's Day. And so I've done that in Mali also. With the LSR Alumni Association and Ficky Ladies Organization.
Oh, my mom is from LSR Alumni.
Interesting. See, last connection found.
Yes.
Huh? So she's a Delhiite. Oh, so I'm also a Delhiite.
Yeah.
So both. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So my journey from Kuch Bihar, Mathavanga to Delhi to Jaipur, and then I feel myself as a global citizen. Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm just traveling to Beijing now in November, and my next conference for Cumulus is lined up. So we have 2 conferences every year. So that's how we have our board meetings as well. So I just told you that I'm hosting the first ever Cumulus Student Talent Camp.
Yeah.
That's taking off on 30th until the 4th, and we have 20 applicants for it, and we have 7 countries participating.
And you were representing India?
No. I am spearheading the first pilot of being a board member. And this is the student initiative so generally for conferences we would have around 500 delegates from different parts of the world, right? From around 370 universities, you'll have somebody 1 or 2 or maybe no. So we have these many people who come for the conferences. But as far as student event is concerned, we don't have student specific events. So this board decided to do a student specific event for international students.
Wow.
So I am hosting the first student talent camp of Cumulus.
Wow.
So we've called this whole camp Design Identity Direction. So we want to show them the indigenous knowledge that resides in the city, our craft traditions, our living traditions, and how these students can actually use design thinking and look at new opportunities.
Right.
And how they can also find their design identity while they look at these identities, these clusters, these communities as different identities, and we have livelihood that sustains on design.
Right.
In the Western world, design was more about industrial revolution, then it moved on to luxury goods, then it moved on to consumer goods. Today it's all about communication and services. But if you look at in India, design has a huge amount, there's a big role that we need to play when it comes to our livelihoods. So social design is going to be very interesting as an area because it's all about creating an impact.
Wow. I'm right behind you with taking Jaipur to the world. I feel that's the mission. Because I feel Jaipur is doing so much, because a lot of people come from design background already. They're already kids of big craftsmen, who knows how to do the real work behind things. And इतना ज़्यादा अच्छा aesthetic sense है Jaipurites का, coming from the land of Rajputs and India in I feel totality.
No, it's a sad news. I'll have to give you different news.
Really?
Maybe you may not like it. So there was a newspaper cutting that Kethun is losing out on its weavers for Kota Doria because the next generation doesn't feel there is not sufficient worth in making this fabric more, because there's so much of industrial fabrics that are coming in the name of Kota Doria from maybe even Banaras, and which is not Kota Doria, while Kota Doria is GI indicated. It's geographically indicated, but like block printing happens all over the place, but not Sanganer, right? So वैसे ही क्या है, कोटा डोरिया भी fabric बहुत जगह बनने लग गया है, and I think the cluster is finding it very difficult to sell the pure one, right? And everybody today wants more fake and more fancy stuff which you can use and throw. So I think somewhere we have to look at patronage for these crafts, otherwise these crafts will not sustain.
Right.
And I think design has a great role to play there, because these skills cannot be taught again. These are skills which have gone from generations to generations, and I think we are proud that we still have them. And it is the role of designers specifically that if they can together monetize this with the craftsmen, I mean, look at models like Jaipur rugs or Nirja potteries and the blue pottery thing and the rug making industry. You look at the Sanganer block printing industry, where they have got the Bagrutex craft park, and a lot of entrepreneurs are exporting from there. You look at the handmade paper. Now look at these crafts. Till we don't bring it as a part of the organized sector, they are likely to fade away. So there are entrepreneurs who need to step in. Creative entrepreneurship is the need of the hour today. and we have a very special focus on having India be a creative economy.
Right.
You know, because क्या है, यही सब चीजें आप चाइना में आप मास प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हो, बट आपको real people will be here, the real skill lies here, and the real people are here.
100%.
And you know, that's a huge opportunity for us to, you know, encash upon and monetize
Right.
upon.
Right. And the fact that you chose to add entrepreneurship in some of your courses, I think reflects on the path that you're heading to. You're planning to build more creative entrepreneurs.
See, because I'm an entrepreneur, so I know what entrepreneurship can do.
Yeah.
So I strongly believe in entrepreneurship, and I want a lot of young people to understand that yes, it's good to do a job, learn, contribute, learn the you know, attitudes and behavior of being a good professional.
Right.
But you need to have a mindset of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because I call entrepreneurship first a mindset before you become an entrepreneur.
Right. Absolutely.
So that entrepreneurial mindset is important for any business to grow. Even if you're working there as a professional, if you have that mindset, you can contribute to your employer well.
100%.
So it's very important, and we across all courses, you know, even if the course does not have it, we teach entrepreneurship as an add-on program for that matter. And our masters is especially design and entrepreneurship, because we want more and more entrepreneurs to come up in the creative domain.
Amazing. I hope a lot of there are already a lot of people who are centered towards entrepreneurship, but adding that creative aspect to it, I feel can reach the craftsmen of Jaipur to masses.
Overall, it's the creative economy that I really dream of.
I swear. I hope that I keep on bringing such creative conversations for you guys. Thank you so much, Archana ma'am.
Thank you, my pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'll end this episode here. Bye guys, see you in the next one. It was a fabulous conversation with Archana ma'am. We had so much to talk about off the camera, and hopefully we can bring something really new and refreshing for the show and for students at Arch, and a potential brand collaboration as well. But what you can look forward to is, as of now, the other episode that we have done with Mr. Shan Bhatnagar. He is an artist, and he spoke about design on a very similar lines like Archana ma'am, but from an artist's perspective. And it's a must-watch episode. If you really like this one, please go ahead. I'll put the link here. You'll be able to just tap it and go watch it. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.